In a quiet village, there lived a kind-hearted woman. Every morning, she would wake up early, just as the first light of day touched the earth. With great love and care, she cooked breakfast for her family, her husband, her daughter, and her son. Along with the food, she always made an extra roti, flatbread, which she would place on the windowsill of her house. This bread was meant for any hungry traveler who happened to pass by. Her house was small, but her heart was big. She believed that everyone deserved to eat, even those who had no home or family. Every day, she would place the roti on the window, hoping it would help someone in need. For many days, a hunchbacked man would pass by, walking slowly with a limp. Every day he would stop, pick up the roti from the window, and eat it quietly. But strangely, he never thanked the woman. Instead, he would mutter a peculiar line to himself. "What you do, bad will stay with you, and what you do good will come back to you." The woman couldn't understand why he said this every time. Why doesn't he say thank you? Is he rude, or does he not care? She often wondered, growing more frustrated with each passing day. But as time went on, the hunchback's daily routine continued. He would take the bread and leave without a word of gratitude, only repeating his mysterious phrase. Eventually, the woman's patience ran out. One day, she decided she had had enough. "I'm tired of this man. He never thanks me. I'm going to teach him a lesson," she thought, her anger rising. So she made a plan. That evening, as she prepared the roti for the next day, her mind grew dark. "I will make sure he never comes back," she whispered to herself. Without thinking, she added poison to the dough, convinced that this would be the end of the hunchback's daily visits. As she was about to place the poisoned bread on the windowsill the next morning, something inside her stopped her. Her hands began to tremble. She stared at the roti in horror. "What am I doing?" she gasped, her breath catching in her throat. For the first time, doubt filled her heart. Suddenly, a wave of guilt washed over her. She dropped the roti back onto the table and cried out, "No! I can't do this." She rushed to the stove and threw the poisoned bread into the fire, watching it burn away in the flames. With trembling hands, she made a new, fresh roti, clean, simple, and pure. She placed it back on the windowsill, just like she did every day, and said a silent prayer, hoping it would find its way to someone who needed it. The hunchback came by as usual. He picked up the bread, muttering his usual phrase, "What you do, bad will stay with you, and what you do good will come back to you." He didn't know the woman had almost made a deadly mistake, and neither did she. He walked away, oblivious to the close call. Days passed, and the woman continued to place her bread on the windowsill, silently praying every morning for her son. He had gone away months ago to build a bright future for himself, but there had been no news of him. She prayed for his safety, for his health, and his return home. Then one evening, there was a knock at her door. She opened it and gasped in shock. There, standing before her, was her son. His face was gaunt and tired, his clothes torn and ragged, and his body seemed to have grown weaker over time. He looked like he hadn't eaten in days. His eyes were wide with disbelief, and he collapsed into his mother's arms. "Mother, it's a miracle that I'm here," he whispered, tears welling up in his eyes. "I was so hungry and weak that I collapsed on the road. I thought I would die. But then, a hunchbacked man appeared." The woman's heart raced, and she stepped back, her hand flying to her mouth. "That man, he gave me the last of his food," her son continued. "I begged him for something to eat, and he gave me his bread, saying, 'I eat this every day. But today, you need it more than I do.'" He made sure I was okay before he left." The mother's face went pale as she struggled to stay upright. The words her son spoke echoed in her mind, and in that instant, she remembered the bread she had almost poisoned. She felt the room spin as she realized that if she hadn't stopped herself, if she had not destroyed the poisoned bread, her son would have eaten it, and the result would have been deadly. Her stomach turned and tears filled her eyes. "Oh my God! What if I had?" she whispered, unable to finish the sentence. Her son didn't understand why she was so shaken. He was too weak to ask questions, but the woman knew what had almost happened. It was then that she understood the meaning of the hunchback's words, which had once seemed so strange. "What you do bad will stay with you, and what you do good will come back to you." She realized that even the smallest act of kindness had the power to change everything. The hunchback had given away his only bread, knowing that it could save a life. And in that moment, the woman understood that good deeds, no matter how small, always return in unexpected ways. Goodness is like a seed. It may not always grow right away, but it will always come back to you in some way. Every act of kindness, no matter how small or unnoticed, holds the power to transform lives. So, always choose kindness and never stop doing good, even when it feels like no one is watching.